Outstanding. Hello and good afternoon. I am very excited that you are here today to talk about a subject that is very near and dear to my heart, sleep, and how it affects us and how much, we all know sleep is important, right? Every single one of us knows. I'm not telling you anything you don't already know. However, it's amazing as I was preparing for today's webinar of what it really does and how it really can help us not only sleep-wise, but feeling better-wise, but in every aspect of our life. And I forgot to introduce myself. I am so sorry. By the way, my name is Jen. I am a doTERRA wellness advocate and have been teaching people how to use essential oils holistically for nearly 4 years. I am also finishing up my certification of integrative health coaching, which I have really been enjoying this course. And the reason that is because I'm learning how every aspect of our life helps us to be healthy. It was awesome this last week. I was at the doTERRA convention and they talked a little bit about how everybody thinks that abnormal health is normal. And that just hit me because as I have been working through my own health journey and people have asked me, Jen, your skin looks amazing, or you've lost so much weight. What have you been doing? And unfortunately, it's really not just one thing. It's actually really just taking care of me and my health. And every aspect of my health, from spirituality to creativity to getting sleep. And today is this webinar, we are going to talk a lot about sleep and how it's going to affect every single aspect of your life and how it can help you to be healthier. So I will deliver 3 things for you today. The 3 things that I will deliver is, number 1, if you have any questions, go ahead and drop that into the chat box. After I'm done with the presentation, I will be happy to pause the recording and really spend that time with you over this webinar just to talk and work through the things that you're having, kind of have a group coaching session for you. The other second thing that I'm going to deliver to you is I do have a special offer for you but stay at the end of the presentation, please. So that way I can help you in whatever way. The third thing that I will give to you or guarantee to you is that I will email you the replay of this. So that way you have it in your library, and that will be done. Your email will be there for you tomorrow. I have to dump it into YouTube and then send it out via email. So if you registered for this webinar, I'm very excited to tell you that the information will always be there for you when you're in need of it. Okay? All right, so let's get started, shall we? So, lack of sleep. Holy mackerel. Let me just tell you a little bit about my journey. So, when I was younger, I was a competitive athlete. I was a goalkeeper in soccer, and soccer then was not as big as it is now. And so I learned very quickly that as an athlete, sleep was a very large part of the athlete's success, as in my success. As I got older, I figured out, studying and figuring out, school, going to college, continuing my athletic abilities through growing up, and then going into shift work as an adult. So I went into the medical field. I was a veterinary anesthetist at UC Davis. And I worked anywhere between 12 to 14-hour days with an hour commute on each way. And I was up early and I went to bed late. And I was on my feet the entire time. Bathroom breaks were few and far between, and sleeping was, obviously sleeping at night, that normal 7 to 9 hours was not usual. And then, of course, the physical activity of being in the medical field. So that started my lack of sleep journey. Then I went into law enforcement and I worked graveyard because I had a young family. And it was important for me to be able to see my kids every single day. And so when you work shift work, when you work day shift, then you can't get your kids to school and you're not home for them until about dinner time. And then swing shift, which is, the late day. So you can get your kids to school, but you can't pick them up. And you miss dinner and bedtime, which is an integral part. And then you're awake. So either way, when you're in shift work, you're getting not a lot of sleep. But for me, I did 5 years of what is called graveyard. And that was basically, I worked from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. And I was trying to get sleep during the day. Now, I don't know about you, but I have a hard time sleeping during the day. I mean, I really don't sleep well during the day. My circadian rhythm does very well. And now that I have done this research, I figured out why, and why I was really there was a really true thing that was happening with me. And then, weight loss and irritability and hormone balancing and all the things that make me, or you, a person, was not happening. So the sad reality is 50 to 70 million adults suffer from some sort of sleep problem, whether it's a disorder or an issue like sleep apnea, insomnia, or any type of wakefulness disorder. That's an alarming amount because we as Americans are always so busy during the day that we're not resting at night. So with that being said, today I will be giving you some benefits of why we need sleep, and then of course some tips of how to get some better sleep and some things that have worked for me I would be happy to share with you. So what is considered to be a good night's sleep? A good night's sleep, according to the Sleep Foundation, is defined by 6 to 9 hours, depending on the activity level of the day, is sleeping, which 25% of that 6 to 9 hours is actually in what's called REM sleep. And that's that rapid eye movement sleep. So with that being said, what are the benefits of sleep? Okay, so some benefits of sleep is when you don't get enough sleep, you have a risk, and it is linked to obesity. So adults, 55% of adults that do not get enough sleep are obese. And 88% of children who do not get enough sleep are obese. Getting enough sleep also helps balance your hormones. So for instance, cortisol, that is your fight and flight hormone. That is your stress hormone. When you are sleeping, your cortisol levels drop and will return to normal state. So if you are getting good sleep, remember that 6 to 9 hours with 20% of it in that REM sleep, your cortisol hormone will actually decrease. Also insulin sensitivity. So, when you're eating, you have the peaks and valleys of blood sugar. And then when you have insulin resistance, then you also have, it is linked to obesity as well. Another thing too is that when you are getting enough sleep, it does help balance testosterone levels. which when you have good testosterone levels, you have increased energy. So a lot of people that I help with coaching have said, I wish I felt more energy during the day. Super easy to do by trying to get some extra sleep, some additional sleep. Okay. So, because it balances the testosterone levels. We as women, yes, we still have testosterone levels in our body, just in different amounts than a man. Okay. Getting enough sleep helps support your immune system, which will help with so many things other than just the common cold or flu. Helping your immune system is also combating against seasonal allergies, because your allergies is immune response. So when you get that good sleep supporting your immune system, your allergies actually get a little bit better. It also improves learning. So if you are a student, whether you are a child, a young adult, or even adult like me that chooses to go back to school, getting enough sleep will ensure that you're able to intake the information that is given to you and remember them. That's the best thing. You have to be able to remember the information. So also help when you get enough sleep, it does lower the risk of being depressed. So 90% of those people who do suffer from depression do have some sort of sleep disorder. So I'm going to just talk about myself here for a moment. When I was coming out of working graveyard, I had, and my sleep was starting to become more normal. And I was realizing of how not the best person that I was because of my chronic sleep. I was very depressed with the lack of sleep that I was getting because of my hormones were going crazy, and my weight resistance was I was very heavy. And now looking back, I'm realizing that it is because of the lack of sleep that did not make me be the best person that I could be. Also, sleep, when you get enough sleep, you actually eat less. And it's kind of interesting because yes, you're like, well, I'm sleeping, so of course I'm not eating. Yes, but I know I'm guilty of this, but how many of you have been guilty of eating to feel better? And I know that I did that, especially when I worked graveyard. I was just trying to feel better and do anything I possibly could. And that meant eating to feel better. So remember, when you have that fluctuation in hormones, it does have a fluctuation of cravings. So the more cravings you have, get a little more sleep to balance those hormones. Also, empathy. When you get enough sleep, you are actually able to see the social triggers, such as anger or happiness, that is of the people that are standing in front of you. So because our inhibitions are they're not as sharp, and we're not able to recognize certain social cues that are in front of us. So it is always nice to see or learn that maybe we as people are doing something because we're so tired that maybe offending someone else. Because I know that, speaking of from experience, I know that that's not my intention at all, to hurt somebody's feelings. And then, of course, when you get enough sleep, your body is able to repair. And whether you're a weekend warrior or you are a pro athlete or wanting to be healthy, in order to improve your athletic performance, whether it is to increase your air intake or even just healing from your weightlifting, or you're working on your muscles, or that blood flow in and around your body, if you don't get enough sleep, your body cannot repair itself. Therefore, your body will not be able to take action of the athletic performance that you are so desiring. So let's talk a little bit about some side effects of sleep deprivation. Sadly, I'm sure that you've put something in one place and can't remember where you left it. You put it in a safe place, but you just put your keys down in a place where you don't normally do, but because you were so exhausted because you did not get enough sleep, you don't remember where you put your keys at. Same kind of concept. The sad thing is that when we do get behind a car and driving a car when you are in extreme exhaustion, not getting enough sleep, it looks a lot like drunk driving. And, that weaving in and out of traffic, that inappropriate braking, that slurring the words, not really cognitively there. So I will urge you that if you are really not getting enough sleep, please, 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 just ask yourself, should I be driving at this moment? Call an Uber, call a friend, because you don't want to hurt yourself. You don't want to hurt anybody else. And so please, take care of yourself and recognize when you have had enough sleep in order to drive a car. Okay? Another thing too is not only driving a car, is that let's say if you are in road construction or any type of construction job or any type of working on heavy machinery, you don't want to hurt yourself. So our reflexes are very delayed when we're so sleepy. So make sure that you have to ask yourself seriously, should I be operating this chainsaw if I'm exhausted? Should I be operating this table saw or wood chipper or hammering nails or putting a fence up or whatever type of heavy body job that you have? Ask yourself, did I get enough sleep, and can I be safe doing my job? Because again, you do not want to hurt anybody else or yourself. Another side effect from sleep deprivation is just workplace harmony. And I know that I was guilty of this too when I was working graveyard, is that, I really was not that happy. Didn't really understand it, but I just wasn't. Didn't know it at the time. Now that I'm looking back, I'm realizing, oh, I just should have gotten off the graveyard and I would have been a much happier person. And everybody around me probably would have been happier too. All right. So just keep in mind that some sleep deprivation side effects. I had some notes here and they were absolutely awesome. And I don't remember where I put them. That always happens, right? I thought I put it in the right place. It was about a couple studies. I'm so sorry. Here I am. Because I liked I was reading a research paper from Harvard about the sleep stuff. It was good. I am so sorry. There we go. Okay, let me see if I lost it in my notes. Oh, there we go. There it is. So sleep deprivation is the side effects. Yes. I read two articles from Harvard that talked about, that ran two different studies. The first study was a group of healthy people that did not have any medical issues, and they induced sleep deprivation, basically keeping them awake from long periods of time, and also, or at night, just staying awake at night and then trying to do the day sleeping. And what they were finding is that those people who experienced chronic sleep deprivation, they had an increase in stress, they had an increase of blood pressure, uncontrolled blood glucose levels. So if you're a diabetic or pre-diabetic or hypoglycemic, you are more at risk for those issues, and also whole body inflammation. Now, you're going, okay, what is whole body inflammation? Inflammation is really inflammation is normal to some extent because your body takes, we experience inflammation all the time. No matter what you do and feed your body, you do experience it. But your body on normal levels of inflammation can take care of it, and your body heals on its own. But when in that group of people, they were, experiencing chronic levels of sleep deprivation, and then they were experiencing high levels of whole body inflammation. That whole body inflammation can be anything from a headache to back pain to knee pains to migraines to really anything. Even high blood pressure is a form of inflammation, and even unsteady glucose levels is also a form of inflammation. The other study from Harvard took another group of people with habitual sleep duration. So whether it's people that are constantly getting that, I'm just going to put it out there. Those people that say like, oh, I can survive on 5 hours of sleep a night. That's not a badge of honor. It isn't. It is not a badge of honor at all, because of the simple fact that you are really depriving yourself of really great repairing for your body. And when you really, really stop and look at it, and then this Harvard study shows that these people, this group of people that are habitually not getting anywhere between 7 to 9 hours of sleep a night, were experiencing high blood pressure, diabetes, and obesity. So that's just, that speaks to my heart so much, because so many people that I have coached and are coaching have all come to me saying, Jen, I want to lose some weight. And I'm going to say, okay, let's work on you. Let's work on you and your whole body, your whole being, because everything that we do in our life does affect our whole life. So health is not just one aspect. Health is not, I'm skinny. Well, you could be a skinny fat person. Health is not just eating the right foods. Health is not just getting enough sleep. Health can also be about the creativity, the flow, the motion, the chi in your body, the spirituality. You have spirituality, meditation, finances, love, joy in your life. It's all these things. And when we work on all of these things together, we can actually achieve better health. Sleep is just one part. Okay? Sorry, I got off on a tangent. I know. But keep in mind that lack of sleep does also correlation with serious issues like diabetes, heart disease, chronic stress, high blood pressure, inflammation, and these things shorten your life expectancy. When I was at convention this last week in Salt Lake City, Dr. Riggs was talking about how in the year 2024, almost 45% of Americans will have type 2 diabetes. And he showed it by the arena that we were sitting in. Half of the arena sat down. And to me, that was huge, because type 2 diabetes is lifestyle. It's a lifestyle disease. It's not something that you're genetically prone to. In my family, that we have diabetes in my family. But then when you looked at the diet and exercise and social abilities and friends and things, my family didn't have those things. So I work on those. But with that being said, diabetes and the complications of diabetes will affect your life expectancy. Just making sure I got everything. Awesome. So why do so many people experience this uncomfortable and stressful sensation of not being able to sleep? I can go so many things on this, but I'll try not to. I know. We as Americans, and there's so much coming at us. every single day, all the time. You know, even this screen right here, the light that is shining over here, the lights that's coming from the windows that are beyond my computer, the music that was playing in the background, the dogs barking, the you name it. Today's world is so much busier than it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. Look at what has changed. We all have a little screen attached to our hip known as a cell phone. And we're all addicted to it, myself included. And so we are really prohibiting our body to sleep by all this information that we are taking in. And we're never really truly resting away from all this information. So for instance, technology. Technology is amazing, but why is it that in today's age, we are so connected, but yet so disconnected? I think people, what did I do when I went to the doctor's office? When I would go to a doctor's office before I had a smartphone, what would I do? I would probably be having a conversation with the person next to me, because they didn't have a phone, I didn't have a phone, and I forgot to bring a book. And having that personal connection. And now we have these phones that we're so addicted with social media, we have forgotten the beautiful ways of just going to have a cup of coffee with our friends. And now we are more comfortable with the screen and just sending them a DM instead of having an actual conversation at a coffee shop, which is kind of sad. How many of you have sat around and looked at a dinner table when you're at a restaurant? How many people are actually sitting together at the same table and everybody has their smartphone out, watching it, scrolling, messaging somebody else, instead of actually having a conversation with the people that are in front of you, which are the most important? It was so awesome. Last week, I was walking to my next location that I needed to go to, and the lady was going to the same place I was going to. It was beautiful to make a new friend, somebody who lives in Kansas, and we were just talking a little bit about, life and, her kids and my kids, and we just really enjoyed each other's company just for that 5-minute walk. It's awesome. So think of it this way. Because we become so infatuated with our screens, it is actually now we do not sleep when the sun sleeps. Okay? So the reason I say that is, and people have said, well, you could use some blue eliminating glasses, which I do have a set, which has been very, very helpful, has eliminated a lot of my headaches that I have especially when I have a lot of computer work to do. But I have noticed that when I work at night on the computer, I cannot sleep at all. So I don't do any computer work before I go to bed. There is a scientific reason. And it is because the screens are emitting protons that are sending signals to the brain via the eyes. And the brain is saying, hey, the sun is still up. So no, it's not time to sleep. When the sun goes down, our eyes notice that it's dark outside. And I definitely notice this a lot when in the time change. When it's like 4:30 at night and it's pitch black dark, I'm ready for bed because the sun's not out. But when it's during the summer and it's 9 o'clock at night and I'm not ready for bed, I'm still energized and I'm still ready to go. And the reason that is because the melatonin in your body has not been released yet. The brain has not said, hey, the sun is sleeping, so it's time for you to sleep. The screens do the same thing. So I would strongly recommend that, get rid of that stuff, that iPad or tablet or smartphone so close to your face, and get rid of it for the last hour. Read a book, have a conversation, take a bath, take a shower, start your evening duties, your evening routine to set your body up for nice, good sleep. So ways to combat some light-related sleep issues. Now watch, my tips and tricks are in a different spot. There we go. Yay! So funny. All right. So dim the lights on your screen device. On every single tablet or iPad or thing, there is a night setting. And I would recommend, if you have to be on your smartphone or your tablet, iPad, use the night setting. It takes the blue out of your screen. Yes, your screen may look a little bit yellow, but it will save your eyeballs so that way you can actually sleep. Okay, that's an awesome way. Also, dim the lights in your home. I always laugh at my husband because after doing the dishes, he forgets to turn off the kitchen light, and I'll go, good grief, I'm getting a sunburn. Can you please turn it off? And I like to have dim light in my home after the boys are in bed and I'm going to sit down and enjoy a nice evening of quiet. And I like soft light just to set my body down to relax, enjoy, get ready for bed. It's that routine. Remember, 1 to 2 hours before bedtime, just get that blue light device out. You either use some of the glasses or turn on the tablet onto the night setting. Read a book, have a conversation. Keep the TV way out there. Okay. Try to regulate the bedtime routine. It's super, super important to stick into a routine. So for years and years and years, my bedtime was always about 9:30. I know in my house, we call that missionary midnight. But seriously, it's 9:30 and I am just about dead dog tired. So I go to sleep, I go to bed. Keep that routine no matter what. Weekends too. Yes, during the weekends, I'm usually, my 4 friends that come over to my house, it'll be like 9:30 and I'll be sitting there yawning up a storm. And I even excuse myself for my own party to go to sleep. So make sure that your bed is used for sleep or other things, but don't study on your bed or, have deep conversations on your bed. Just use your bed for sleep. So that way, when you're getting ready to sit on your bed or lay down on your bed or whatever, your body is routinely saying it is time for sleep. I love to raise my legs at night when I sleep, the first portion of it. And the reason that I do that is to align my spine. So that way I have good alignment. I don't have any body ouchiness. Also, I really like to raise my legs just to relieve the lower back pain that sometimes I do have, especially on days that I'm on my feet all the time. And if you need, use some blackout curtains. I still sleep with a sleep mask. It literally is like, I put that on and my body goes, good night. I'm like, there's no waking me up from that. So using either a sleep mask, some blackout curtains, duct tape them if you have to your walls to keep the street lights out from your windows, or if you have to sleep during the day, then obviously keeping that sunlight out. If you do nap during the day, super awesome. Just keep that to 20 to 30 minutes. And the benefit of sleeping during the day is it just decreases that cortisol level. So that way you can actually get some beautiful rest as well. Let's talk a little bit about cell phones. My husband keeps his cell phone next to him when we sleep because there are times that he is on call and he has to be notified 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. But I don't keep my phone up and next to me. And I just don't want to hear all the notifications that come through on the phone. Because you're sleeping, you'll hear the notification and your brain goes, hey, what is that? I got to get it. Could be important. I need to get that. So be cognizant, aware of, if you are using your cell phone, maybe as your alarm clock or your meditation app or, whatever, put it on the airplane mode so all those notifications don't come through. You don't want to be hearing ding, 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 ding when you're trying to get some great sleep. Just some tips. All right. Diet. Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Diet is a big, big part of it's a big part. It's a big part of your whole life. not only your health as far as your, feeling good, but also your sleep. So just keep in mind that eating a large meal before bed, probably not the best things. And I'm going to give you some tips, tricks of what foods to eat to help you get some sleep, and what foods not to eat to help you not get some good sleep. Obviously, refined foods like sugars, chocolates, caffeines, not a great thing to use. But I strongly recommend all of my clients that I do coach that when you wake up and you are having that insomnia period, to write it down. Like, what are you thinking about? And maybe if you do get up for a snack or a glass of water, go ahead and write down what you have eaten. And then, of course, during the day, keeping a food log is very, very, very helpful to pinpoint which foods are triggering whether or not you are sleeping or not. All right, reasons for lack of sleep in adults. It's lifestyle. I know, it's so sad. It really is sad. Just long work hours, the location, maybe nap taking, sleep cycle regulation, not environmental factors. There's so many things that can be done. But again, keeping a journal of what you're doing during the day, how you're feeling during the day, of what is going on in your mind and your thoughts, super good as well, just to keep that. But if you work long hours, maybe at home, and work doesn't, especially when you're working at home, you got to have that room where you can just kind of close off, or just say, hey, I'm going to be working. Like, I work from home for 3 days a week, and I know that come 3 o'clock, I am done working because I have to spend time with my family. And that also gives the opportunity for me just to step away. And that way I don't carry my work into my day or my evening with my family, and then all the things we need to get done, dinner and extracurriculars, homework, get ready for the next day kind of thing. So just keep that in mind, that even people who work outside of the house and then they're bringing work home, you're bringing that work home, which is not creating a restful environment in your own home. Speaking of environment, I love it. I love it. Take a really, really good look at where you sleep. So if you are sleeping and you have maybe some mini blinds, and you recognize that you have, these mini blinds are not keeping the sunlight, not sunlight, but the street light or the full moonlight out of your environment. Keep that in mind, okay? Because that is an awesome, that does inhibit. Remember, any type of light can trigger that non-production of melatonin in your body. And you want your body to be producing the melatonin so that way you actually sleep, okay? So when you take the supplement of melatonin, your body will stop making it. So because it recognizes that you're taking it, that it's already there. So your body's smart. It actually recognizes when you don't need hormones because you've taken it from another source. So look at the environment that you're in, from down from the temperature of the room, to the light that is in the room, to the smells that are in the room, to, is your mattress comfortable? If you like to shower before you get into bed, make sure that you're, sticking to that routine. It's all part of that routine. Just take a good look at it. Get rid of the light. You've got to use duct tape, use the duct tape. Got to use a sleep mask, use a sleep mask. But get rid of all that extra light. I know that when I go to a hotel or whatever, I'm always carrying, either the painter's tape, so I can just put it over all the lights that are all around in the room. And I also put one of the towels underneath the door, so that way the light from the hallway will not affect my rhythm. Because if I have to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom, it means I'm taking off my sleep mask and I'm seeing that light and my brain kicks on right away. I'm not one of those lucky people. that can just be quiet, go right back to sleep. I'm not that. And please turn off the phone. Turn off the phone. If it's important, there are ways to wake people up other than a phone call. Knock at the door, call somebody for help, somebody that is not in your house. So I'm just telling you, turn off that phone. Turn it off. Okay? Oh, and buy an alarm clock. Buy a regular alarm clock. Don't use your phone for it. There's so many alarm clocks out there that can pair with your phone if you want to do an app from there, or whatever. But just really take a good look at your bed, at your bedroom. Make sure that you're, my husband loves to sleep at 70 degrees. I personally like 72, so I've got lots of blankets on my side, but he likes it 70. So if he sleeps good, I sleep good because I'm nice and warm. And then of course the lights, the comforter, the mattress, everything. Take a good look at your stuff. Sleep and mental health. Sleep is as effective on our health as in eating, drinking, and breathing, as it allows our cells to repair themselves and allows our brain to process and receive information. It's also linked to various mental health disorders, such as anxiety and depression, as low levels of physical energy translate to our poor cognitive activity and the lack of ability to process thoughts clearly. When you don't get enough sleep, you're not processing those thoughts clearly. So when seeking to boost your mental health, therefore it makes sense that improving sleep quality is high up on the list of recommendations. The difference that you'll feel after several consecutive good nights of sleep in overall mood and awareness is incredible. So please prioritize your sleep. Sleep is very, very important and a huge link to mental health. So lack of sleep also continues to the likelihood of developing and worsening a mental health disorder. So if you are prone to struggling with these, or you think that you might be at risk, it's a good idea to prioritize your sleep. When I was transitioning from graveyard to daytime life, I had a really hard time with my sleep habits. And there was a period of time that I probably went a couple weeks without any sleep. And that's when I recognized that I was having actually a mental issue. And it was not anything that I'd take medication for, but finally being able to talk it out and just say to my husband, hey, I haven't slept in weeks, and this is what's happening. And just having that conversation and that feeling of that safety really decreased my anxiety. And then I was able to sleep. And now that I've been becoming more and more comfortable with saying, hey, this is what's happened to me. This is how it helped me. Maybe this will help you. With that safe person to have that conversation with, whether it's a health coach or a psychiatrist or a doctor, a spouse, a partner, is a powerful thing. So please, please, please just think about doing that. Because I noticed that once I was really I had to go to bed at 9 o'clock when I had to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. When I make sure and I do these things, I'm just so much more healthy in my brain. All right, REM sleep. What the heck is REM sleep? The funny thing is, REM is rapid eye movement. And basically that just means that is your state of dreaming. Your eyes are actually physically moving. It's not in a normal pattern. It's kind of spastic from here and there, but it's you actually really watching your dreams. Whether you remember your dreams or not, I am unfortunately one of those people that don't. Your eyes are actually looking at something, okay? So ways to boost that, and the best thing too is REM sleep is anywhere between 60 to about 120 minutes. of your sleep time. So it's not the full 7 to 9 hours of sleep. You have kind of little peaks and valleys of sleep. And then when you get into that rapid eye movement is really when you're able to really heal. So we want to get there every day. Okay. So some things to think of. Okay. So I'd already talked a little bit about your rapid eye movement is actually you looking at your dreams. But some things that can prohibit that is alcohol. So alcohol or drugs mess with your REM. And remember, your REM is actually in the latter portion of the sleep. So if you're waking up right around 3 o'clock in the morning, then it could potentially be because you've either had alcohol or had to take some medication or drugs that is now messing with your REM sleep. So instead of getting into that good REM sleep, your body goes the opposite way and is awake. And it's interesting because that's also a time when your body is detoxing the most, when you're in the REM sleep. And when you get into that REM sleep, your body detoxes and then is able to flush all that stuff away. But when you're not able to get into that REM sleep, then your body is floating these toxins that it's trying to get rid of. And then that's when you wake up. So I am actually, unfortunately, one of those people go, oh, all I need to do is drink a glass of wine and I'll be able to sleep all day, all night long. I wish. Nope, can't do that. Developing brains. So when you get into that, children do need sleep. They need more sleep. It's absolutely imperative before the development of their brain. And they do need to get into that REM sleep. It helps them with their memory. And also as the information that is coming to them, that they actually remember that information, okay? Also, it helps with problem solving. So we as adults, we have to problem solve all day long. How am I gonna get the kids from here to here when there's one of me and no of them? How am I gonna get dinner on the table at 6 o'clock when I have to have Joey there at 7:30? How am I gonna get my laundry done with this done and that done? How am I going to be able to drive from here to here? We are a problem solver beings. We love to do that. We are naturally that way. But without getting into that REM sleep, we can't get there. We have no way to figure out how we can solve our problems of the, of the day. And the best thing too is that when we do sleep, let's say something happens, you need to make a decision today. And you've seen this on TV. You probably have had this happen in your own life when, somebody offers you a promotion and you say, hey, can I sleep on it? And then I'll let you know in the morning. This is an awesome thing to do because when you can get it, you go home, talk it over with your spouse, figure out what the decision is. You're going to make it, you make it a decision, but then you're going to sleep on it. Maybe you woke up and you went, nope, I don't feel that way, or yes, this is a great decision. Getting into that good REM sleep will help you to make the decision that's best for you. So the lack of REM sleep, sadly, I'm going to talk a little bit about that toxins. Now in our brain, we do have toxins that come and go. We need to, and it clears off as we are sleeping. When we don't get into that REM sleep, the toxins in our body rise. And then it builds on every single day. And that is also known as whole body inflammation. Okay, remember earlier we were talking a little bit about the whole body inflammation, how that rises in people who are chronically sleep deprived. This is the same thing. Those toxins attack the long-term memory storages in our brain, which makes our bodies and our brains more susceptible to Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. Oh my gosh. All right. So how to boost some REM sleep. I have some more tips. I have more tips. Let's move on because all these tips are going to be great. So let's keep going, shall we? How many of you meditate? Absolutely. Absolutely. I was listening to a lecture by Dr. Andrew Weil, and gosh, he's an incredible man. He's one of the men that are, in my opinion, really the cornerstone of a lot of this, bringing holistic medicine to Western medicine. He's a medical doctor, but he's like, there's got to be some more. We have to treat the whole person instead of just the disease. And so I was listening to one of his lectures, and he says the basics of all things is just to learn to breathe. I was like, what? I've been breathing for 42 years. I should know how to breathe by now. Well, it was so awesome. I'm going to go over this a little bit with you, but I really want to talk a little bit about meditation. And I started on my meditation journey about almost 2 years ago. And at first I felt like it was like, well, this is weird. You know, I really had a hard time shutting off my brain. My brain was always going all the time, you know, like most people. And then I just could not shut it off. And it took me a long time just to be able to just sit. So I picked a place in my home that I found to be, that's kind of where I sat for when I read a book, when I went to relax, when I went to journal, way before I started my meditation practice. And then I started on my yoga practice. And then, so my yoga practice and my meditation area is generally the same, but I wanted to talk a little bit about why does this pull up here? That's interesting. That's so weird. Sorry about that. A little notification that just popped up. So I want to talk a little bit about my Dr. Andrew Wills and his learning to breathe. And when we learn to breathe, we can actually really decrease our stress, therefore increase our REM sleep. So the first off, there's only 2 steps to this. The first one is just choose something calming to focus on. And for me, I just chose my breath because that's what I don't know why, I just was like, well, let's just work on that, you know, learning to breathe. And then the second one is just let it go. Don't think about, you know, like what is it? Don't think about what you look like. Don't worry about it. You're amazing. You're beautiful. Just keep going. But to decrease your stress by meditation will help decrease the amount of brain stuff that's happening. And then when you're ready to go to bed and you're in bed, and then all I do is I do this 2 times now, and I totally feel my body just relaxing. And then when I get on that yoga mat in the morning, I do the same thing again, and I just do my yoga, and I feel so much better. And when I'm having days that is really stressful, I will do the same breathing technique. So right now, I want you to get where you feel comfortable at, sit up straight, sit up nice and tall, you know, head over your heart over your pelvis, and close your eyes. Close your eyes, let your hands rest in the most comfortable area that you know. Take a nice big deep breath for a count of 4. And then you hold for 4. And you breathe out for 6. So it's going to look like this. So no matter where you are, you can be at your desk, if you're having a tense moment. You could be waking up in the morning. You could be getting ready for bed at night. Doesn't matter. But by taking a time to slow down and just think about your breath, in for 4, hold for 6, out for 8. If you have nice big lungs, but if you're not there yet, it's okay. Then just in for 4, hold for 4, out for 6. That is easy too. And if you just take that nice time and just Do that 3 to 5 breaths at a time. You will feel your body's breath just make you so relaxed that you can just decrease your stress of the day. I like to do that also at night when I climb into bed, and just be able to take that time for myself to set my body up for good sleep has been very, very helpful. Decreasing, because every day is stressful. Every day is stressful. No matter what you do for a living, every day is stressful. And getting rid of that stress just to relax and prepare your body for sleep is an army for success. Yes, you can do sleep cycle apps. I don't use a Fitbit. A lot of people do. They like to know, how much sleep they're getting. And that some people like to pair that with the food log. Whatever you feel comfortable with. Again, I'm not a fan of having stuff around my wrists when I'm sleeping. Frankly, I like to get rid of all this electronics in my bedroom, but hey, to each their own. It's a really truly a bio-individual issue. Like I know my sister-in-law loves it. She likes to know what hey, I ate this and look at how badly I slept. I ate this, I slept good there, so I'm going to continue sleeping that, eating these things. It's been very successful for her. Flow state and sleep. This is what we call get in the zone, the groove, the laser focused. Everybody has their time of day when they are absolutely laser focused on their a part of their day. So some people will say, hey, I, like myself, if I drop the boys off to school and I get right to work, I can probably work until about 11, hyper focused, get a ton done, boom, great, day's productive. This is a very bio-individuality issue. Now you're going, why did she just said bio-individuality again? Same thing. This is person to person. This is somebody, you need to figure out when if you feel the best at night to get things done, to, be that laser focused, to really just kind of get in the zone and get in the groove and do the stuff you need to do, then work on that, do that. And then of course, do that meditation to sleep, to get rid of all the day's stress and move on. So using this, when you are in the zone, when you're in, then, and you're able to allow to be creative. We are all creative beings. It's just a matter of whether we are going to accept that time or not. So just being creative can be anything from coloring to playing an instrument, learning something new, yoga, meditation, sports, journaling, really walking. It's really whatever is the best. So I know some people that work out at night and they feel the best after their day's work. Some people work out in the morning. That is their best time to work. That is their flow state. That's what sets them up for success with good sleep. I recommend you to do the same thing. Just find that time. Really, we all have the same amount of time. Even if it's 10 to 15 minutes of that laser focused of maybe playing that instrument or coloring or journaling or whatever, please do that. It's so awesome to do that. So here's some benefits to it. You can have some clarity in your life, some improves of physical and mental health. You can decrease your anxiety and depression and stress, and allows creativity to surface. So you can make those clear decisions of what is good for you and what's necessary for you, and you increase your productivity. So if you just spend 15, 20 minutes a day in that laser focused time of doing something that you enjoy, you will have so much more happiness and joy in your life. And that is what it's about, right? All right. Psychophysiological insomnia. How many of you know somebody that worries about getting enough sleep? How many of you know somebody that when they are awake at night, they are just so pissed off because they're awake at night? Absolutely. So this kind of insomnia is probably one of the most difficult ones to deal with, because during that period of psychophysiological insomnia, the person experiences the lack of sleep, during which their thoughts are preoccupied with the fact that they're not currently getting sleep, or worrying that there are the consequences of not getting enough sleep. So if you've ever had a big meeting, experienced lack of sleep the night before, you apprehend or overanalyze things, grab those essential oils, place them on your toes to shut your brain up so that way you can get some sleep. And then, of course, figuring out what's contributing to that whole body inflammation. Unfortunately, us women are more prone to this than men. Men are great at like, oh, well, today's today, tomorrow's tomorrow, when all of us are like, this is my life and I need to fix it now. And how do I do that? But grab this essential oils, place those on the bottoms of the toes, because those are your brain points to shut your brain off, to stop thinking, stop overanalyzing, and stop worrying about what you have to do every day. All right, sleep enhancing foods. So awesome to get some, here's some great, I'm going to give you some great foods to eat and some foods not to eat. So number one is going to be walnuts. Walnuts are the great source of tryptophan, which is a sleep enhancing amino acid that helps the production of serotonin and melatonin in the body. Almonds are a great source of magnesium. It is a mineral need for sleep. So I know that people that I have coached, it's been great because I say, hey, just go take an Epsom salt bath with some essential oils and go sit in that for 20 minutes. Well, hello. Magnesium flakes, Epsom salt, good to go, good night. But almonds are a great food source for that. Cheese, because it's great in calcium, and calcium helps the brain to use the tryptophan that to make the melatonin to make the melatonin, excuse me. And calcium also will help decrease the muscle spasms that are sometimes at night, those uncontrollable muscle spasms of the legs. So eat your cheese. Eat your cheese. Cheese is good. Lettuce, romaine lettuce especially, has lactocarium in them. That is a sleeping property found in romaine lettuce. You can have a salad, or if you don't want, you can make a tea with the lettuce. Just put it in some boiling water, steep that for a little bit, take it out, drink that. Chamomile tea, we always know that is a nice muscle relaxant, and passion fruit tea helps calm the nervous system. So those are some foods that would be helpful to incorporate in your evening snack. You don't want to snack too much, though, because overeating can hinder your sleep as well. 7 foods that do interfere with sleep. Number 1 is dinner too early. So if you have dinner at 5 o'clock, but you don't go to bed until 11, you're hungry by 11. So get yourself some food. Not 2 hours, an hour before bed, but maybe, eat a little bit later so that way you're not hungry as you're sleeping. Late night coffee, having coffee at night or coffee too late in the day, that does interfere. Large meals, I know that I'm guilty of it. Everything tastes so good, I'm just going to eat it all. And then I can't go to sleep because my belly is so full. Alcohol interferes with sleep. Spicy foods due to the acid reflux that may occur. Strict diet. Maybe you're not listening to your body of what your body is really needing. The healthy fats are very, very good to incorporate into your dinner time. So that way you can actually have something in your body to chew on while you're sleeping. And then, of course, high sugar. Sugar is not great either because it does interfere with your circadian rhythm and sleep. Essential oils. You knew I'd get to this eventually. Essential oils for sleep, absolutely. I cannot go to sleep without it. Copaiba and Serenity soft gels every night before I go to bed is absolutely amazing. I take those every day. I have a diffuser going on. The best thing to how to affect your mood and your sleep is by diffusing essential oils, breathing in the aroma. And lavender essential oil actually has been proven by Western medicine to be very effective as a sleep aid, natural sleep aid. Other essential oils that are awesome I love to use Breathe essential oil that just helps keep the airway passages open so that way my body can actually relax and sleep. I pair that with bergamot. Bergamot is actually a citrus fruit, but does not cause uplifting feelings or wake you up. It actually is quite the opposite. Very relaxing, and does promote sleep for me as well. Vetiver does, it smells like dirt, but it is a natural tranquilizer. A lot of people will put that either in the diffuser or rub some on the bottoms of their feet, paired with some lavender, and they will have a very good night's sleep. And then the newest oil that we are having is Adaptive. Adaptive essential oil blend from doTERRA has been shown to calm the nervous system. And when the nervous system is calmer, that means you're sleeping. Isn't that awesome? I love that. I love that oil. All right. Other strategies to promote sleep. I want to know what you do. I do the same thing every night. I'm always, I wash my face, I brush my teeth, I get into my pajamas, I fill my diffuser, I go kiss my kids goodnight, make sure their diffusers are still going, and then I hop into my jammies. Don't go to sleep in your own clothes because still your body knows what it needs to sleep in. It's absolutely amazing. It's like buy some pajamas, get a pair of pajamas so that it's nice and comfortable for you to get to sleep. So I want to hear from you about what you're using to get good night's sleep. So I said that I would stay here for questions. So let me stop the recording. But first off, the couple things that I wanted to deliver to you that I said that I would. Number one, I will be answering all the questions as soon as I'm done saying this. But for those people that have stayed throughout the presentation for today, I wanted to give you a gift. And my gift to you is a 30-minute consultation with me. And I am a health coach. A 30-minute consultation with me that is free, that will help you to figure out how you can get some better sleep. If you are interested in doing that, shoot me an email so that way I can, we can bounce some ideas and we can go over your health history, make sure that you, what areas in your life that may need a little bit of help. And that is absolutely 100% free to you. So that is my gift to you. And of course, you will also get the replay at the end of this recording. So have a wonderful day. I'm going to stop the recording, the sharing, and all that fun stuff, and carry on our conversation with the people who are here live. Have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for joining us. Bye-bye.